Hi, it's Malcolm here, and welcome to day 2 of the back to in play trade test that I started yesterday with £5 stakes. Now, we done 2 trades yesterday, and I managed to make about 8.5% on each trade. Average at the moment, we've only got 2, so it's not going to tell us a lot at the moment. So these were my trades yesterday. As always, this is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to show you how I do some of my trading, how I use a spreadsheet, that kind of thing. Just so for those interested, you can see how I do it and then decide whether that's something you want to do or not. That's up to you. So today we've put the stake up to £5.34. So what we've done is basically we won actually 85 pence yesterday, but the profit we were looking for was 75 pence, so I leave it at that. That's just extra that goes into the bank. So we compound 45% of that onto the next day's stake, and the rest of it stays in the bank. So we're kind of growing our stake and growing our bank. This figure could be anything you want it to be. I would always suggest it's under 50%, because that way you're leaving, at least you're covering any extra losses in the bank. So whatever happens at the end of the day, if you haven't covered the £5, you've covered the extras. And so, until you've got enough in the bank to cover your stake, which will probably be around target of 11 or, in fact, target 9 would allow you to actually cover your full stake by that time in your bank. Hopefully you can go miles past that. So today we're trying to make 80 pence, and then if we do that, then we put that extra in the bank. Okay, so this is early in the morning. I say early, it's about 11:28, and if we have a look at the trades available today, or my selections available, which are free, I'll put a link in the video and in the description below so that you can go and get them. We've got a load of 4s. We've got a 5 and a 6, so these are probably the 2 I'm going to be dealing with. Now, the idea behind this is I can look at the trades in different ways every day, so you can see the different ways you can trade. So today we've got Tiger Crusade, which is a 5, and this is 2 hours and 41 minutes out. Now, some people say, well, what happens if you go in early? Okay, there are a couple of problems with going in early. First is that there is not much money on the market, so you can see some hundreds building up here, but generally 30, 60. So scalable wise, then it gets a little bit more difficult, so you're going to have to feed the money in very slowly if you're going to do it in the mornings, so that you don't upset the market too much, because any big sum will upset the market and will change it. That being said, what we're going to do this morning is I'm going to put in my stake, my full stake, and then we're going to see where we are 2 hours, 10 minutes before the race. So this could go widely against me, or it could go really well for me. I don't know which. And it's always my worry about doing it, but I want to show you what happens. Obviously each trade will be different, but I'm going to put that stake in. Okay, now what I really want to do is I want to trade out for the full 15% if I can get it. So that was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a green trade out in there. I'm going to keep all, which you can't quite see there actually, which is that button there. I'm going to keep all, and so on BetAngel, that will so if there's any suspensions of the market before we get to 10 minutes or 5 minutes before, then it will keep the bet whatever happens, because often these markets suspend during the day because of non-runners and things like that. So that's all we can do now. We'll come back to this one in 2 hours and 20 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes, and see where we are. The other one I want to trade today is probably Iron Bridge, which is in the 1435. So if we have a quick look at that, I'm going to open that in a different window and see. So Iron Bridge is favourite as well. Now, I'm not going to trade this one early because these two are too close together for my liking, and I want to see what it's like. So we'll look at this one nearer the off. So they're the two that I'm going to do today, and we'll see where we are nearer the off and what's going to happen. So I will catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so we've still got 42 minutes before this race goes off, and I kind of, after I'd done this trade, I thought that wasn't very clever. And there's a reason for that, is because I don't know if you have heard about the trading window. So the trading window is basically where most of the money has been traded during the day. Now, obviously, this is only had £12,000 put on it now. So the trading window could extend either way, when we get nearer the off, and during the day that could extend further on. But if you remember, well, you can see that I got in down here at 3.25 or 3.3, whatever it was. And if you notice, the price went up. It went out to right near the top of its trading window, probably not quite up there, but somewhere up there, and then has since come back down again. So the mistake I made really was not waiting to see if this did go out to the top of its trading window. And you'll hear a lot of traders talk about the trading window, and especially people who use my selections say that they often wait until they see the runner at the top of the trading window. So like this runner here. Now, this may be slightly different because it's going out. So, it could be that it's just going to go out. But it is at the top of its trading window. So this would be a possibility of something that you were going to trade naturally. If you were just trading order flow, you may well look at this and say, well, there's a chance that could drop. But really, you probably want to be on favourites when you trade order flow, because there's a lot more movement in the prices. The other thing that I should have looked at was this low end here as well. So you can see that this is only traded down here, as we can see by the trading window. So it doesn't give me a lot of room. And I have to take, if you look at it, you have to take it that this is where the price is at this moment in time, somewhere around here. And so anything above either of those two is really speculative. So I'm saying, oh, okay, I'm going to put a price in down here, so because that's where I want to go. Now, in play, that's quite possible, because anything can happen in play. But before the off, really, my speculation should be around here, not down there, and not up there if I was laying. So, in a way, I've broken a couple of rules there. But I kind of wanted to show you what would happen if you put the money in early in the day. But what I should have done was said, okay, I'll put the money in early in the day, but only if it's the top of the trading window. So let me get a pen, actually. Is that a pen highlighter, that is? Yeah, not quite as beautiful, is it? Let me just close that down and do it again. Have they not just got a pen on it? Oh, okay. So if you look at it, that's your trading window. And that's where we know the price has been. So, if you look at it on the graph, okay, we know, it's probably been a bit higher than that. That's hard to do when we're drawing. But you can see here that it's been as high as 4.5. But generally, today, this has been its trading window between these two. And basically, that's kind of where that is now. So that is where you should be considering trading before the off. But now we're into speculation going, well, we think it might drop down lower. But we don't know that. But we will see nearer the time anyway. But I just wanted to mention that before we get 10 minutes before, and I'll come back and we'll start having a look at it then. The other thing that, of course, that's happened is during this morning, nothing's really happened. Apart from it going out and coming back in, we are exactly the same place we were generally when we placed the bet an hour or so ago. So, it's really just hasn't done anything. And you'll find that often prices just kind of do that during the day. That one has gone out. That one's come in, but it's kind of leveled off now. I'll leave that there, and I'll be back in a bit, and we'll talk about the actual trade before the off, and then hopefully we won't have to go in play, but if we do, we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so another point to consider here is what I refer to as bounce points, which is or some people call them crossover points, that kind of thing. But it's where the tick values change. It's also where you have these kind of hard numbers, like we all know numbers like 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 2 to 1, that kind of thing. And although we talk about decimals in Betfair or on exchanges, often people still revert back to some of those older numbers, and they don't see things as decimalisation. They see them as, oh, this is, you know, 4 to 1, or this is at 3 to 1, or whatever it is. I mean, this is actually 2 to 1 because you take 1 off the price. So 2 to 1 is a favourite number that you see a lot. So it's whether sometimes it's whether it will actually break through that number if it comes down to it. And you see this a lot with numbers, is that, you know, the prices get stuck at these numbers and bounce back off. Sometimes they just go through a couple of ticks with the, you know, money coming through, and then the market seems to readjust. And, you know, you can often see it, there's somewhere around those numbers where it tends to stick. If it breaks through, and it really does break through, then sometimes that can be a real good thing if you're on the backing side, because if it does break through and it really starts to break through, then it can, you know, go quite a way down. But sometimes it just kind of notches through a couple of ticks and then goes back up again. So it's something you have to watch out. But it is a place where you kind of sit there going, well, you know, will it break through there? And sometimes I often trade before that. So in this case, you know, if I didn't see any signs of it really breaking through, this would be a good place to trade out, or dead on the free, that kind of thing. So that's another alternative that we can look at a bit later on to see where it is and whether it will go through. But it still hasn't got to the bottom of its trading window yet. So again, that might be as far as it goes before it goes, no, I want to go back out again. There's actually more money arriving into the market now. Bigger sums of market, and these will be kind of holding this up as well, I expect. So you know, it probably won't go down unless these are removed. These could well be there from traders trying to keep the price in this area, but who knows? You can never know. You never know. But often when you see bigger bets, they can be from traders who know they can kind of manipulate the market a bit by putting large sums of money in. But as we get closer to the off, that's less and less effective, of course. And if more money comes on the other side, because what can happen is somebody's putting money here to try and hold this price up, but then somebody else comes in and really puts pressure on it. They will remove that money, and then the price will drop down. So we've got 534 on it. So what we could do, you know, I've put that bet in there at 615. If I remove that, we could start saying, well, okay, let's play around with this a little bit. And you've seen me do this before. If we get down to there, let's take some out there. 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 So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's take some out there. And I always like swap that to that last bit. In this case, 34. And we can add that in, say, there. So at the moment, we've just kind of gone, okay, let's put that in and see what happens. And see if we do get some trade out, or whether it just does shoot down. I mean, we really wanted, you know, to do one hit, but I think with these trades, sometimes doing 2 hits to make your target, or even 3, is not a problem. But we'll see what happens. I mean, this to me is like one of those things I wouldn't normally do, go in this early, unless I could really see, like yesterday at about 27 minutes, I saw that I really felt that price was going to go down. So I went into it. This one I'm not too sure about, but we will see what happens next. We are just coming up to 7 minutes in, and we're pretty much, again, where we were. So this is one of the reasons I don't often trade before the race unless I really know what's going on. My worry is this one here at the moment, is this dropping through that 5 mark. Again, we could trade out for a couple of ticks if we wanted to, which wouldn't be too bad a thing to do. We don't have to go for bigger amounts all the time. We can go for smaller amounts and make that up. But let's hang on for a bit longer and see where it is when we go inside the 5 minutes. So I'm going to pause again and then come back when we get into the 5 minutes. Okay, so here we are, 3 minutes before the off. They are going down at the moment, so there's So yeah, so we're just waiting for see what happens. Now this one hasn't dropped through the 5 yet, so that's given me a little bit of confidence about this price dropping, but it still hasn't come down as far as I'd liked it to. Now we could trade out some of this money if we were starting to worry whether we could make the trade or not. I mean, there's no reason, you know, not to trade out, but we'll just hang on, because the whole point of these videos is to show you some of these trades and what can happen, and what I might do and what I might not do. So you know, basically it's what I said all along. This is the way I trade it. It might seem a little bit mucky to some people, but that's the way I work. That's the way I like to work. I'm trying to figure out where the money's going. I'm not too concerned because I will go in play, and that's the point of these selections that I've got. I'm pretty confident most of them will do very well in play. So if I can't trade before the off, I can obviously go and play. The only problem with this one is there's an AW all weather 7 furlongs, so it's quite a short race, so I don't really like doing it with these. So I'm hoping that the price will drop, or I'm hoping that I can trade out for some profit, but I don't know at the moment. We're still seeing what happens now. It's 2 minutes before the off. They are down at the start now, so they're not loading yet obviously, but we just have to see. Now see it's definitely going against us. The other thing here is, if I'd have been trading 5 minutes before the off, I may have been looking at this, and when these prices shoot out like this, I often get on them, because often they come back down again, like this one just has. So it's shot out a couple of, and that's money coming into the market on one side, pushing it up, and then the other money comes in and evens it out. So we just want to see what happens, you know, now really. So there's still not loading yet. Still got 127 before the off. So I think I'll just pause this for another minute, just to when they start loading, and we'll see where we are then. So this was my concern, that this one would drop through that 5. You often see this, and now that's going to probably put pressure on our price. It doesn't always. It's not necessarily this one comes down, that one goes up. Often you can see both of these coming down. And one of the other runners in the race, or several of the other runners, take out the extra. So it's not necessarily that this drops and that goes out. It will depend a lot on what other prices are around and what the other runners are doing. But often this price might drop and this one might go out, or another one might go out. So it's, you know, you can't always, it's not always that easy, and anybody who tells you it is, that just doesn't know, because it isn't. And you can often see these go down. So they're going to start loading now. So we're in quite a reasonable position before the off at the moment. So we know if we go in play, we've got a good chance of you know, getting a bit of a trade before, if we go in play. If our runner does what we're hoping it will do out of the straight out at the beginning of the race, but we have to wait. Now, as I said, I could start thinking about taking some of this money out if I was really worried and wanted to come out, but I'm just going to leave it for the moment. Now, it could be that I lose the whole lot. We don't know that yet. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to put in a trade here, just in here for the race. Actually, I'm going to do this. No, I just missed that. It's in play now. So let's see what I did get some of it in. So let's take that then, shall we? See if we can get that. So we got that. And if the horse wins, let's see what's going to happen on the wrong race. Get the right race up, that would help. Okay, so yeah, our runner looks like he's there or thereabouts. Number 5, show you here. So that's our runner there, and that price dropped down right down to 226. So I could have probably gone for more. I could have gone for the whole, you know, 86 or let's just see if he wins. I get 86. So and what did I need on this runner? Yeah, so I need 80. So I'm gonna have to do another trade, but Let's just see where that takes us. So it's gone out now. That's coming back in. This is what I mean. These prices can go right out and then come back in, but this Lord of the Lodge looks like he's going to win this race. So, okay, so we got a trade. It didn't take very long in running. I don't really particularly like short 7 furlong handicaps. I much prefer them to be over the mile. But you know, we got it quite quickly, and that was the end of it. But yeah, we could have traded that for some before the off, but we didn't. Okay, so we'll set up the next one and see how we get on with that. Well, I was going to show you Iron Bridge, but it's been removed. It's been removed from the race. So we've got a late 5. Oh, what's 6? I might be able to make this one. Should I go for another one earlier? I didn't really want to do the 4s on these. Paddy Pie is in the same race. Let's have a look, see what the price is on Paddy Pie. It's going to be a high price. I don't really like doing them this high out. But what we'll do is we will do it, but we're going to do it with smaller stakes. I'm just going to wait for some bit more money to come into the market on this one. But as you can see, this actually was already dropped down from like 10, so that's how our worry is, and it's dropped down to like 6. I'm going to put £1 in. We're coming up to 10 minutes just to see what happens. We actually only need on this one. We only actually need 8 pence. So we don't actually need to make a lot of money. So in theory, with a few ticks going down, we could probably make it from the £1. And this is one of the other things I wanted to mention about trading is that you don't always have to use your full stake, depending on what the price is. So, you know, if I put in a trade, I know it sounds silly, and there's not a lot of money on this runner, which makes it difficult for scaling, which is another reason why I don't often like them. I prefer to stick to the favourites, or at the worst the second favourites, because there's normally enough money that if you're deciding to scale this up to, you know, some extent, then you know the money is going to be available. But when you talk about outsiders, it becomes a little bit more difficult. I know 9,000 has been traded on this race already, but that's 4,500, and you can argue, well, you know, I can get 4,500 traded, but you know, it's not quite that simple, because you can't just put £1,000 into this market. It would just destroy it. So you know, you'd have to be feeding it in 5s and 10s and stuff like that. But as we get nearer to the off, it might be better. But let's just trade out for, I don't know, that one there, and let's just see if we can hit it. It may come down. It's definitely been down near to 6 before, so it's not impossible. But I think this is at the bottom of its real trading kind of window. So we'll leave it there and see if we can get traded at that, or whether it's going to go totally against us. And then we might have to see what we can do in play. But you know, it is a bit of a risk. But we're only risking, you know, 1/5 of our money. So it's not major, but it is a bit of an, you know, it wouldn't be something I normally do. I just wanted to show you, because I don't get a lot of time to do these recordings every day, and I wanted to trade another runner. But we'll see what happens. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I definitely caught this runner wrong, because the price has been up at 10 and back down again. So I don't know, it's just up and down. There's hardly any money in this market, and on this particular runner. So any money coming in is causing the price. You can see here, it went out and back down, out, back down, out, and it's coming back down again. So I think I might just see if I can catch another one of those. Let's just see what happens. I know I'm putting more and more money into the market on a runner I don't really want to, and you've got to be careful with that kind of thing, but I'm just wondering if I might be able to catch it. It's either that or I trade out and see where it goes, really. So I'm just going to concentrate on seeing where to put the money in, so I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, it's still not come down. It's still not gone out. So I'm kind of stuck here at the moment. So they're still going down. They're nowhere near starting yet. So just going to leave this for a bit longer. I don't know. They have been talking about. Oh, here we go. I'm going to try and get in. Let that go there. So let's try and get another pound in there. Let's just see if that brings me back down into some kind of profit, or whether it's just going to fly right out. So I'm in for 2 now. So I only need literally a little bit. I mean, this runner has actually won these races, and it does well at Weatherby. So it's not like it's not it's an outsider chance. I mean, it has actually got a chance of the race, and I think that's what the market is showing. It can't make up its mind, whether this runner has got a good chance or it hasn't or whatever. And some money's coming in for it, some money's going against it, and nobody kind of knows really. So. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can get some money out of this market. I only actually need somewhere around that. I'm going to just stick that in because I'd like to just get out of this market with some profit. I just need it to go below that 9. It's been below it before, so come on. Oh, and it shoots up again. So close to getting ready to go, that's for sure. I'm going to keep forward and just see if I can get anything in play. I've got to be careful. I don't want to lose too much on this. I mean, this as you know, I'm only doing this because I wanted to show you. I really wouldn't normally be on this runner, and it's just like that. I'm not getting a lot of time to do this, and I really wanted to just show you some trades. And now I'm going to get in trouble for doing it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not like a massive amount, and you can use this out of my bank. I could just say this was just some of my bank being used, and I'll make it up later. In the next few days or something like that. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, they're just going off now. So let's just see what happens in play, whether we've got any chance of making some money. There we go. So we've done it, and we could have done more as well. But I was kind of like, I didn't want to lose a couple of quid over a runner that I wouldn't normally be on. But again, you can see that these runners do tend to do well, in play. So I wouldn't have been on that runner, and I'm not saying I would have. I just wanted to show you that I picked another runner in the race. It is a 4, so it's not like it hasn't got some abilities according to our ratings. So anyway, there's my 2 for today. We made another target. We had that 14. I only pay 2% commission. So let me add that to my target sheet. So, well, let's put 0.13 in. 1.3, 1.2 even. Great, whatever. So we've met that target anyway. We're still trading around average of about 8.2 at the moment. So yeah, it's still plenty of time to go to see if we can do better. But I'm probably being a little bit more careful as well, because I obviously don't want to show a losing bet in the market when I'm recording them, but that could happen. But anyway, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll get to record one tomorrow, but it's Friday, so I might not be able to because I'm always busy on Fridays, but I will try. If not, I'll be back on Monday. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, if this is on YouTube, so please subscribe to the channel. Please give it a like, and ask any questions that you want answered, and I'll be more than happy to do it. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, they're just going off now. So let's just see what happens in play, whether we've got any chance of making some money. There we go. So we've done it, and you know, we could have done more as well. But I was kind of like, I didn't want to lose a couple of quid over a runner that I wouldn't normally be on. But again, you can see that these runners do tend to do well, you know, in play. So I wouldn't have been on that runner, and I'm not saying I would have. I just wanted to show you that I picked another runner in the race. It is a 4, so it's not like it hasn't got some abilities according to our rating. So anyway, there's my 2 for today. We made another target. We had that 14. I only pay 2% commission. So let me add that to my target sheet. So, well, let's put 0.13 in. 1.3. 1.2 even. Great, whatever. So we've met that target anyway. We're still trading around average of about 8.2 at the moment. So yeah, it's still plenty of time to go to see if we can do better. But I'm probably being a little bit more careful as well, because I obviously don't want to show a losing bet in the market when I'm recording them, but that could happen. But anyway, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll get to record one tomorrow, but it's Friday, so I might not be able to because I'm always busy on Fridays, but I will try. If not, I'll be back on Monday. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, if this is on YouTube, so please subscribe to the channel. Please give it a like, and ask any questions that you want answered, and I'll be more than happy to do it. Thank you. Bye-bye.